Hello everyone, welcome to another Let's Play of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. My name is Anna Mardall. We are going into part 3 of the Rise from the Ashes case. I don't really know how to summarize what happened in trial because it was... I'm not even sure I understand what happened. There was a witness who plagiarized a lot, and yeah. We basically earned a reprieve, but this isn't going to be a walk in the park considering that our client is apparently still bound and determined to confess to a crime that we're pretty sure she didn't commit. So, let's get into this. I think that's everything. Mr. Wright?
Huh? What?
Are trials always like this with you? Like you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake, about to reach the surface, but no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there.
Pretty much. Except today we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister anyway?
Apparently she got called off to the judge's chambers.
Probably something to do with that piece of cloth. That would be the cloth in the drain pipe that is so far unexplained. Or exhaust pipe.
So, this is where we turn the trial around, right? Our only weapon, a tiny, insignificant piece of cloth.
I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and significant, to tell the truth. Oh no. No. No, God, no. Alright, I can do this. Hola, partner. They say you show a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up its temper. That's what they told me when I was a youngin', at least.
Officer Marshall!
Thought I'd come, take a look and see how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. They've got the home ranch locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. That hurts. Great. Why? That hard to slip out, huh? What is going on over there anyway? All the police I've seen these last 2 days have really been on edge. Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example.
Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf.
You don't say. Now that just beat all. I've seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many a time. I saw it that day, too. She was wearing a red muffler.
What?
At the awards ceremony that afternoon. Edgeworth's seen it too, I reckon. What does that mean? What does that mean?
In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf.
So Miss Star wasn't mistaken.
Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. And sometimes you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time will tell.
I have a bad feeling about this.
So what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright?
Bullshit?
If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Ooh-wee!
I had thought we would be having an investigation day. Apparently we're going back into trial?
I'd like to resume? Why is it a question mark? What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution. Edgeworth looks not happy. Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, and you're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused, you're doubled over, your back is bent. It can't be. This can't happen.
I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth.
Well then, I believe it is time we continue on with this trial. During our recess, I had requested the prosecution continue the investigation. This is unacceptable. It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself.
I don't know who's speaking. Excuse me. Knock knock.
Who's there? Who is there? What's with this guy? What's with his music? A strange, stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom.
Is he a demon? Is that what he is? Is it gone supernatural on us? I'm just gonna listen to the music for clues for a second longer. It's kind of sinister but perky at the same time. What is that? The temperature rose 5.7 degrees when the man came in.
So he is a demon then. We're all just in agreement on that. Who on earth is he? And he's wearing like a cross instead of a tie? Ah, it's you. Okay. He needs a voice. He seems nice. He tells knock-knock jokes, so, my god, look at his beard. It's like a pointy fan. Oh. Oh. Sorry I'm late, Edgy. The roads were packed. It's just me. Long time no see, eh, Edgy? How you been? Swim much these days? Hello. Hello. No, I've been so busy. Busy? Busy smizzy, Edgy, my boy. You have to make time to relax. Yes, indeed.
Edgy seems to be his nickname for the judge?
I'm afraid you're right. I'm very afraid. Sorry, but who are you?
Aha! So you're Righto, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son.
Thanks?
So sorry about our little worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. Jolly!
Little worthy? Mr. Wright, you don't know the district chief of police? Chief of police? He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district.
Name's Gant. Damon Gant.
He's literally a demon, isn't he? He's a demon. So, to what do we owe the honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it?
Well, it's Worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this. He brought the red scarf.
That's
My sister's muffler!
so Miss Star wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Sky really was wearing that muffler.
But to think that it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe. On Little Worthy's car, no less. What's that? It's really quite embarrassing, even for us. Is that supposed to be the exhaust pipe?
What's this?
Oh, look at the numbers. SL9. Isn't that... Yeah, SL9. SL9 with a 2.
What's this?
It's what you'd call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this. She hid it in there. She hid evidence.
Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth! How could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Wow. Check out the pair on Edgeworth.
Now, wait a minute, Worthy.
I've no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that signature, is there? Miles Edgeworth. That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had... Your head in the clouds because you got that award? I know how you feel. If you're the person in charge, I'll expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made.
This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words.
This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth.
I don't even understand if this is supposed to be a framework or frame up or real, because prosecutors are not in charge of processing a scene. So even if he's signed off on it in some way, that doesn't okay. It's still reasonable that he would have, it would be the fault of somebody beneath him who signed off on the scene, that he trusted their judgment. But okay, fine. We're gonna pretend all this is Edgeworth's fault.
The court accepts this new evidence. But I'd like to ask the defense a favor first. Yes? Just to be sure, I'd like to take a look at the blade of this knife. The blade, Your Honor? Well, I don't see why not. Could you open it up for me, I wonder? Yes, well, I think all you have to do is push this switch and then... If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I won't be able to pound my gavel anymore. If I cut my finger, I won't be able to point it at people anymore.
Come on, just hurry up and open it! So we seem to be... I'm not moving. This is doing it for me. Apparently we're doing another tutorial on how to examine evidence. There's a small tag on this knife. It seems to say SL92. What does that mean? Well, I've heard something similar. DL6 of DL6 incident fame. But it's strange.
What is?
I'm not certain, but I get the feeling I've seen this somewhere before. Letters like this, or letters that looked a lot like this somehow. Yeah, you guys aren't exactly being subtle with the whole it's turned upside down. That's fine. Whoa! Don't scare me like that!
I'm the one who's scared.
Look at this knife blade! The tip is broken off!
And this dark red stain. Blood?
Found at the crime scene, wrapped in the defendant's muffler, small tag attached. I mean, it's gotta be old evidence in a case that... that somebody manipulated and maybe the detective found out about it?
This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us? About the split between the prosecutors and the police, and this knife.
Sure thing. Not a problem. Not even a little one, really. So apart from the fact that he's clearly a demon, I like him. He seems nice. Alright. I was not expecting another trial day. I'm going to be honest. I thought it would go trial, investigation like it does. So I'm a little thrown off my game. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. A detective was killed at the police department, you see. What a mess. The time of the crime? 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. That was vague.
There was a murder at the police department? A detective?
That's hush-hush information, Udgy. We haven't exactly announced it yet.
Wait a second. You said 5:15? That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Order!
Anyway, we at the department were all flustered, as you might well assume. We're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay?
I think we understand the police department situation. Well, Mr. Wright?
2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places. The chances of that are really slim. Scientifically speaking, of course.
I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness. Very well. However, keep your questions focused on the case at hand. Where do we start? Alright, I gotta look at all of our evidence again because I got no clue what's in our inventory. There's nothing special in the badge, so back out.
This must be the victim's blood.
I don't think there's anything else. I'm angry that you can't rotate that. They give you a rotation and then you can't rotate it. Okay. Excuse me, special? Mm-hmm. Hard to come by this particular knife anywhere else. Might that special thing be this little tag? Oh, sorry, Righto, but I can't say that now, not that. We've established that the knife in Goodman's chest was this knife. Now, why was there another knife at the scene of the crime? That's quite a mystery. And like a mystery, it's wrapped in something. A muffler. What if we show him this note?
Objection!
Wait a second.
Ah, at last! An honest-to-goodness objection!
This knife. This has to have something to do with Detective Goodman. What do you mean?
An honest-to-goodness, what do you mean from Uchi? This is great!
Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL92. And this is important. Why? Over here, we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. What's this? 6 minus 7S 12-2? Your Honor, it's upside down. Upside. The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around and what do you get? Ah! Whoever wrote this note was holding the piece of paper upside down. SL9. That's the same thing that is written on the knife's tag. Order! Order! Well, Chief?
Well. I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, Righto.
I win? What game is this guy playing?
This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room.
Who stole it? Who stole it? It would have been either... It had to be Detective Goodman. Let's ask if he knows who stole it. So this knife was stolen? Yes, but on the day of the murder. It was evidence, you say. Was it, in fact, a murder weapon? Nice, nice. Good show, little worthy. It was a murder weapon, as it happens. I mean, it's got blood on it, so... It was evidence from a case long since solved. So this knife was stolen on the day of the murder? And it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car.
Hard to think there isn't a connection there.
So, it was cleaning day at the department. Then they handed out some awards. Then everyone went back to their places, and two detectives were murdered at the exact same time. And this was all like yesterday? Something happened at the police department too? You got a good look in your eyes there, Wright, my boy. Sharp. Hungry. So something did happen. Why wasn't I informed? Why weren't you informed? Well, why didn't you ask?
What? That doesn't... Yes, obviously.
By the way, Chief, while I was out dealing with the dead detective at the prosecutor's office, were any detectives killed here? Just checking. I mean, that's the appropriate face to have at that. No matter, I understand. You were busy, what with Lana's case and all. Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day? On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department? That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Aji? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator. Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. Just arrested? That was quick. It's like, I wonder if they're hiring. They're gonna need a defense attorney. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Righto? I suppose I could help. If you help me by giving me data on your case? Oh, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. This is how... This is how we conduct cases now, is it? So there was a murder, but we get to choose what we can find out about it. Well, we already know when the victim died. and I don't really care how they were killed. The deaths in this game are never very interesting. Nobody ever gets a safe dropped on their head. So that's where it was found. Tell me, where was the victim found?
Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department.
What? 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 You can't tell me where the body was found, but you can tell me where the crime was committed. Did the body move? The evidence room? Wait a second. I have heard of that. Of course you have, sweetheart. We've physically been there.
The evidence room? Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now?
This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. There's a connection between the two cases.
You seem happy, Mr. Wright.
Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. I'm glad you're feeling confident. Now we can get Gant to testify about the details. Chief. The defense's position is simply thus. The connection between these two cases has already been proven.
You don't say. Well, I'm with it, Righto. What is your connection?
Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright. The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention, the victim had on him the case number on the knife's evidence tag. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in the very same evidence room. Indeed, there do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence.
You two make a good pair. Yes, I agree. That's why I shipped them so hard. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right here.
Wait a second. So you knew? You knew. You knew they were connected? And you didn't volunteer that? He knew. He knew they were connected. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department.
See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all.
Can we get the information unofficially? Y'all do know that everything said in a court case is being recorded and made public, right?
Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all.
Really?
Who would have guessed?
I'll cooperate. but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department, okay?
Sure. Why should justice make any sense at all?
If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Oh, well, case information is sticky stuff.
He's gonna give us another you can ask one question thing. I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him. Well, the most specific thing is the ID number.
How about you tell me the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all. We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is 5842189. Alright, we'll write that down next to Bruce Goodman's. 584... The fuck? That's the same number. Well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts. I can't do it. You didn't even get the first number right. Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything? The ID number of the victim at the police department. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. Meaning? It has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean? Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something? What does it tell you? There it is, 58421. I don't understand. Take that! How can... Witness! What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night. No, it's just... I got confused. And this is news. Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing. Like you always do. He's smiling. He loves it. You love it. The police department. The prosecutor's office. 2 places. 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here. Oh, is it yours? No, Your Honor. I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Righto. Personnel IDs are top secrets. Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189. And this means what exactly? Huh? Wait! That ID number we heard from the chief earlier. That started with... I've forgotten. You didn't even get the first number right again. The number the chief of police gave us was 584-2189. Wait a second, Wright. What does this mean? That's what I want to know. The two ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. He wouldn't tell us where the body was found. That bastard! What does our witness think about that?
Oh, sharp as a tack, Righto. Sharp as a tack.
But wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot. Yet a detective, Bruce Goodman, was also killed at the police department, in the evidence room at the exact same time. That's impossible. What we're saying is, the same person was killed at the same time? And in a completely different location? Order! What does this mean? No. What I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret. Fine. But I'm the prosecutor in charge of the case.
Now just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered.
Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case.
Wait. I said wait. Or didn't you hear me?
That was a scary look.
The oversight. The grave error? Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours.
What? How dare?
We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news.
Look at his eyes! Those are scary eyes! Officer Meekins? Oh, crumbs. That was the guy that got chased out of the office being told that his news was not sufficiently important to justify disturbing Edgeworth. They sent it to him via that method on purpose. They did. They knew he'd chase that kid off.
Mr. Wright, where have we heard that name before? Wait, aha!
Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. You don't mean him?
According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe.
Your officer, he told me. He said the report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman, murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right at the top of the report.
Why didn't your officer tell me?
Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged.
In any case, this is a serious error. A gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy.
Objection!
They're still trying to frame him, I see. But sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then Oh, Edgeworth, don't you see?
No such luck this time, Worthy. Or should I say, unworthy?
They couldn't get him framed. So now, what? Are they trying to get him thrown off for being bad at his job? What's the end goal here? What?
Now, what was the second rule of evidence law? Well, Mr. Wright?
Huh? Oh, it's Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And how is this rule relevant?
Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list.
So what does this mean?
I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court.
I don't believe that for a minute.
The connection was just proven by Rido over here. Good job, Rido, my boy.
I was just doing my job. No.
Really? Is it that awful?
No! It seems we have come to the end of this trial.
I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy. But with all these rumors, you were even in the defendant's chair just this past December.
I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Mr. Edgeworth! Please, just give me one day. And I'll get to the bottom of what happened, if it's the last thing I do.
You'd better get results this time. Really.
You have my profound apologies, sir.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth!
I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of the court.
Oh, I think I can think of one.
I will grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. It's not like it takes days for these things to be researched or to get things right. Speed is really the most important thing when it comes to justice. Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. I mean, they'll probably kill him, so there's that. Very well. Court is adjourned. What? Wait, but I have no clue what's going on. God damn. Okay, so... yeah, we're gonna save. Wow. Am I just really thick? I felt like I understood the other cases. Even when I didn't know what was going on, I remember bragging about the game in like the samurai game episode. I remember saying that they had done a really good job of like presenting a lot of information that otherwise could be very confusing, and I was impressed. And I don't know if I've lost the touch or what. Okay, let me think. Also, weirdly, that was only an hour instead of the like 2 hours that everything else has been. What do we know? Lana Skye was suspicious, possibly of Edgeworth, but definitely suspicious of something. They said that she was the source of rumors about Edgeworth being corrupt. And she confessed to the crime. We have a picture of her with a dirty coat and a car boot. She tried to call someone, and she knew there was evidence hidden in the muffler. We have Goodman, who is a detective, was a detective. He stole evidence from the evidence room. I don't know who else could have done it, so let's say it's him. He or Lana hid it in the muffler. Not just in the muffler, in Edgeworth's muffler. He was trying to frame him. He was trying to frame Edgeworth. He was trying to frame Edgeworth for stealing or manipulating evidence by putting it in Edgeworth's car. Someone killed him. Possibly Lana. If she's passionate about this, it would explain why she's confessed. If she actually is guilty. Why won't she give a motive? Why won't she share why she did it? If she did it because he was trying to frame Edgeworth, you'd think you would tell people? You'd think you'd warn Edgeworth at the very least. But she didn't tell Edgeworth. Why did the chief of police keep saying there was 2 murders when we only have 1 dead body, and the identity he gave us is the one we knew about? Were there 2 murders? That part doesn't make a lot of sense to me. That part's confusing. if there were 2 murders, then that means there's another body we don't know about. Which means there's another person we don't know about. Possibly someone attacked Goodman during the evidence theft. Someone saw him? Maybe Goodman killed someone. But if that were the case, why would the chief keep talking about the victim being Goodman? Genuinely confused by really all of this. There's only 2 reasons to put the evidence in Edgeworth's car. Either to frame Edgeworth, or to hide it so somebody can't steal it back or find it until you can get it to somebody, presumably Edgeworth. So those are really the options. Either he was trying to frame Edgeworth, or he was trying to get it to Edgeworth for examination or to turn it in. But I do wonder if she did kill him. Like, that would explain why she's admitting to it. Oh man, we've never had a guilty client before. So if she is guilty, that's a pretty big change in how this is usually gone. Oh, Lana, what did you do? And why won't you tell us? So, that's all we have for this time. I'm not going to keep going because I feel like an hour is a good stopping point. And I have no idea if the next video will be 1 hour or 2 or what. So yeah, we're gonna stop here. I know it's a game. I know it's silly for me to rail against a game, but it's incredibly frustrating to me that the judge is so willing to allow these shenanigans in his court. It honestly very much does make it seem like everyone in the police department is and prosecutor's office is profoundly corrupt. Which, maybe they are. Maybe Phoenix Wright decided to really embrace the whole ACAB, don't trust cops and prosecutors concept. Maybe this is an educational series designed to teach children not to waive their rights to remain silent. Don't talk to cops, kids. Maybe that's the goal of this series. Maybe it is. In which case, then what am I doing criticizing it? That's a wonderful goal. But it's very frustrating that in the context of this profoundly corrupt environment, Miles is still choosing to work with these people rather than leave and go join the defense team. Maybe he feels like he's fixing things from the inside, but the thing is, it doesn't work that way. It really doesn't. Not when we're talking about, for lack of a better word, rot that has gone as deep as this. This is not something you can fix from the inside. As you have seen, and as I assume we will continue to see, if you're the good one in a place like this, they just frame you. Like, it's as simple as that. It's frustrating and hard for the game to insist that Miles is a good person, which I do believe that in his heart, in an emotional sense, he is a good person who wants to do good things. But a good person, in my opinion, doesn't hang around for something like this. It just doesn't work. There's a point at which you gotta leave. Anyway, so that was my soapbox. I often get on soapboxes, and that was mine for today. Is that there is a limit to how much you can change from the inside. There's a limit to how long you can stay in a situation like this before you become complicit yourself, in my opinion. When we come back, we will. I have no idea. What's his face? Edgeworth, brain's completely breaking. Edgeworth got us a day to go investigate things. I hope that means that we will go talk to Lana and get kind of more of her side of the story, because so far we've had almost no discussion with her whatsoever. I would really like to talk with her about this confession she made, especially since, to be honest, I'm starting to think maybe that wasn't a lie. Maybe she really did kill that prosecutor. Or that, sorry, not prosecutor, he's a detective. Because he parked, wait a second. Because he parked, why was he in the A lot? Why was he in the A lot? Why was he in the A lot? We had to walk around from the B lot to the A lot just to go upstairs. So maybe he just parked over in B and went upstairs. But actually, maybe they've already talked about this, but I don't remember them talking about this. It seems relevant how he got there. And I don't know if that was ever discussed. But in theory, she either ambushed him or... or called him there herself. And they were saying that she called him there herself, that it was premeditated because she was wearing gloves. So how did he get there? Because that seems kind of relevant to the case. Did he drive his own car? Maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree. I feel like that seems important somehow. How he got there. That seems important. But like I said, I may be barking up the wrong tree. But okay, in the next episode, as previously stated, we will do something, and I hope that what we do is talk to our client, because I really do feel like she could shed a lot more information on this. I'm going to be super pissed if she hasn't been quiet for a good reason. And by good reason, I mean something really good, like she genuinely believed that if she told us, we would die or something, like a good reason. I'm gonna be really pissed if it was just, oh, well, I'm really stubborn and I didn't want to help, because that's kind of always that's a cheap excuse is what I'm going for there. So hopefully she will have an actual reason, as opposed to just because I felt like making your life harder. Is that a problem? So, all right, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you so much for coming along on this. I really appreciate it. I love having y'all here. This has been Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, or Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright, depending on whether you're dyslexic like me and keep wanting to transpose the words. And my name is still Anna Mardall, or I suppose Mardall Anna, if you really wanted to go whole hog on the transposition concept. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.